Hey guys, Black Wolf Seer 66 here with a 6 sim family starter home. Now, I want to say a quick thank you to those who voted on my Twitter page. Um, it was uh it was honestly very helpful because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Um, so there was that. I really had a lot of fun building this one. I had a reference for the outside. I really liked how the outside turned out. Right here, I'm just kind of fiddling around with side paneling just to see what kind of colors I wanted, because I didn't really know if I wanted to make it dark. Like I was thinking of maybe like navy paneling, and then I kind of gave up on that, and then I just continued like building the rest of the house, as you see here with me with the roof. Um, but I really do like how the outside turned out. I don't know, it's just I really liked the design, the overall design of it. And recently I was just kind of building things just to get more practice, to see what kind of things I can and can't do. And I totally forgot you can do this to get roofing that fits for those like bayed out walls. Um, Because if you were to watch the, what did I call it? The Cottage Paradise build, when I was building the gazebo, I didn't really like how I did the roofing on that one because I forgot you could do this. I forgot. So that was one of the things that as I was playing around with stuff, I figured out how to do that again. Um, so yeah, the outside was a piece of cake. And then came the hard part, which was figuring out the layout of the inside. I don't know why I never plan these things. I really don't know why. I always have the outside in mind, or I find a reference for an outside. And I did find a reference for this one. Um, I did play around with a lot of things just to kind of see what would work. It's not exactly like the picture, it's just a reference. Like the front of it with the bayed out room, that I took that inspiration from the photo, but the rest of it was kind of whatever I could find with the Sims. So there's that. Also, I struggle. I struggled so much with the inside. You can see that I mean I had already put them in there, but I did the beds just to kind of measure, and then I'm putting these couches down too just to kind of measure to see where things can go. So the layout of the floor changes constantly. I think I even extend the house just to give myself a little more space. When I had originally done that bayed out room, I wanted it to be a living room. And if it wasn't going to be a living room, then I kind of wanted it to be a dining room. And then that didn't happen. Um, I think in the long run, it ends up being, I think, a study. I should know this. I just built this last night. Yeah, I should know. Yeah, it was. It's a study. It's a study. And then, oh, bunk beds. This is my first attempt at doing this. This is why I'm testing it now as I build it. For future, I will definitely test things after I've built the home, because I noticed too late every time that I were to do this and then I delete something, I'm not getting my full value of the money back. So even though I had this is a starter family for 6 Sims, you get a budget of 30,000. So I do recommend placing this home on a 1,500 simoleon lot, because then you'll have a few simoleons left to play with as your Sims you know, get jobs and stuff. So yeah, I get down to the wire. I do try to make this build as detailed as possible. Um, the landscaping itself is very lacking because I do run out of money, and I know I would have had more to work with had I known. I mean, I know. I know you do lose money. Like as soon as you go into live mode and then go back into build mode and delete something. I know this. I just was stupid and forgot about that until the very last minute. And that was when I was, again, down to the wire trying to put in as much stuff with so little of a budget left. So I guess in the long run that was bad for me, but a very good thing for you guys, I guess, because then you have money left over to live. So yeah, there's that. I I so going back to the floor, like the layout in general, um, again, I did struggle with it, and I was debating on if I should, I don't know, cut it out or or something like that. Oh, also, here, I was trying to get her down. She froze. She froze. My game kind of froze for a second there, like nothing was moving. So I did have to reset her and then get her out. Future reference for me, never have 6 Sims on your lot. I only did that just to see what kind of budget I had, but all of those Sims end up being a pain because when I was testing the beds again, because I do move them, I don't think they're in that spot, or at least not in that shape anymore when I'm finished with it. All the kids started entering the house. I tried locking the door before all of them could go in, and then it just didn't work. So, so never again. I think I will at least just have 2 Sims, because then at least it's more manageable. I hardly ever play with more than 2 Sims anyway, because I can't deal. I like building more than I actually like living their lives. When I'm being particularly evil, I will do death challenges. But other than that, I usually do not play. Um, yeah, so here I'm still fiddling around. I kind of wanted to have the concept of a hallway, and that was the reason why I had that wall there, but then I don't know. It was so awkward. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how I wanted to shape the inside. I mean, the outside really turned out well. I really do like the shape of the house. It was just the inside that was fighting me tooth and nail. And I really should have had that all planned out before I started building. Because I do go on Google and I do look at references just to kind of get some ideas, and then I rough draft it on a piece of paper just to kind of see where I want things. Um, and then I do kind of like, because I know they do it by like square footage here, so like every square is a sim, or at least a tile that they can walk through. So that was the reason why earlier in the video you probably saw me pause and then count real quick. That was because I had a little bit of a reference sheet. I knew I wanted, in the beginning, that little 3 by, I think it was 7 strip was supposed to be the foyer, and then it was going to go into the public bathroom. So there was that, and then I think that ends up changing. I think I turn it into the master bedroom. Originally, I was going to make it look like the home had been renovated because maybe this family couldn't afford to move into a bigger home, which is why all the kids are in the bigger bedroom and the parents get stuck with the very teeny tiny bedroom. So like the originally that's how I had that. Like maybe the public bathroom that you see for the kids used to be the master, and they changed the drywall and the doors around. And then the public bathroom that you have, I think maybe I they lose some space in their bedroom to give more space for the master bath. But this way, the kids get the bigger room. The parents are happy with the smaller room so long as they have their bathroom. So yeah. And then here I was fiddling around again. Like I'm glad I put things down just to kind of see where everything would go. I didn't just randomly build a shape and then go from there, because that did kind of help to see what I wanted to do. Like this little, there's the foyer, and then that little thing next to it, I was actually planning on making the study, because I figured maybe that would be a good little space for it. And then I was trying to make that bayed out wall the living room again, and it didn't work out. I struggled so hard. And like I said, I was really debating on just cutting all of this out and then just getting to the part where I actually finally get a layout settled. But I wasn't quite sure if you guys would have liked me doing that. I figured it showed the progress of me working things out. So there was that. Yeah, I was toying around with all these sorts of ideas. I didn't know. And then I did that and I'm like, "Oh no, that cuts with that archway. I wanted there to be a nice clear walkway." I was like, "Well, can I chance it if I can get this to work right?" I had those half walls because I figured I was going to put the TV there, and then it just didn't work out. And then I think I was at one point going to maybe do the kitchen in there because I thought maybe that would have looked good. I and then I moved this because I was thinking maybe I'll do the closets. At least the both of them would have closets. No, don't do that. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't even think I put a dresser in the kids' rooms. Oh well, that you guys can add that in when you get more money. I was just doing stuff to make the house look pretty. I am very proud of myself. I didn't change anything after I finished this build. I did play test. I did play test everything, so everything should work. If it doesn't, please let me know, because then I'll work around it and see what I can do to fix it, and then I'll re-upload it for you guys. But I did test everything. Everything should be okay. Like all the beds should still work. The your parent Sims can get through that little squared space to get to their beds on both sides. I did check that to make sure that worked, so that was fine. Um, so, I mean, yeah, I did play test this afterwards, and it was as all the kids were swarming into the house, and then I think one of the toddlers had to go to the bathroom that I realized I didn't have a toddler potty. So that is the only thing I add, is the only thing. The only thing. Um, and then now I don't really remember if I changed anything, but I am gonna try to make sure that I don't change anything unless it's necessary. Like my sim can't use it or stuff like that. Like for future reference, if I ever do bunk beds again, I won't test it out until afterwards, and then I'll just shift it around to make it work, and then you guys will see the ending results in the screenshots, because I always do screenshots after I've play tested. I made the mistake of doing that first the one time before I play tested something, and then there was several things that didn't work, and then I had to redo everything. So I've learned my lesson. Yeah, this is yeah, so this is the official layout after I've and the you'll see the furniture changes. I was just using stuff to kind of place things and see where I wanted stuff and if it would work. Because I didn't want to do all that hard work and then it not work and then I have to change things. I wasn't having that. So I just wanted to make sure everything worked, and in the end it does. So this is the layout. So you got the foyer that enters into the study. That one archway into the living room I do end up getting rid of just to give me a little more money towards the end. And I do kind of like that because then it just opens that space a little bit more. And then I think I even get rid of the archway for the foyer. That I'm not quite sure. I don't remember that one. Also, I had trouble with these chairs, and I think it was due to the lighting. I was playing around with the colors, and then as I was doing like the last minute like check just to make sure everything was working, everything was fine. And then I'm looking at the big sofa, and then I'm looking at the two love seats, and I'm like, this color doesn't match. This color doesn't match. And so then I even took them outside, both of them outside, just to make sure they compared, and they looked fine to me. And then I saw the screenshots, and I'm like, no, that's a totally different color. I didn't change it. I was done at that point. So if that bothers you guys, you can change it, or you can change out the sofas. I may change it later down the road, but for now it's staying. Because I was done. Oh, and you'll see the overall color scheme that I have for this home is definitely neutrals and blue and teal. So like browns and teals and stuff like that, and beiges. Because I mean, when I do builds, I try to pick colors and then stick with it. I even because the house that I bulldozed was actually two-story. That's the reason why that had stayed that way, and I didn't realize it. And I was gonna actually keep it, but then I kind of wanted it more level, so then I end up making it a shorter home. And it does kind of work out in the end, because then everything fits more, like the pictures, and then this little whatchamacallit, the TV cabinet thing that I end up doing instead of a coffee table. Because I wanted there to be as much storage as possible, considering that I didn't do like closets for the parents or for the kids, now that I think about it again, because I know I didn't add any dresser for the kids. So yeah, again, you guys can add that after the fact if you want. Um, oh, and I had trouble with this. I think again, it's my craziness to try and get things to line up, and then I was noticing that it wasn't. It was off center, and then I just kept doing it and doing it until it was there. And then yeah, this is the study. So you see me kind of bringing the TNs in throughout the house, and I do change the bookshelf. I do like this bookshelf because I like that you can put stuff on it. You don't have to cheat it in. So that works wonderfully. The black table doesn't stay. I was originally gonna have it like that, but then I was like, nah, maybe I should do dark brown to kind of match the rest of the house. Also, I don't know why this became a thing, because it worked before, and then I couldn't for the life of me get it to move. And I'm wondering, because I delete it, and then I move the one roof forward one, and I'm wondering if that was the reason why it wasn't working. But then I thought, why would that be a reason why that doesn't work? So I just end up redoing it, and I'm glad it worked by redoing it. Because I was afraid it wasn't going to work. And I was like, you're kidding me. You're kidding me. That was the reason why I wanted this house. Because I wanted that bayed room, and I wanted that roofing. I don't want to just do some roofing that looks stupid. So there was that. Sorry, I blinked out for a second. Also, yeah, there's some noises going on in my house right now, and I'm hoping it doesn't get picked up on the recording. I, I do, I do have another house that I'm planning on building. I am going to make another family home, this time with no budget, and I will try to do that. It's like if I ever do like a base game build, then I'll try to do a different build that's also base game. Like my very first build on this channel is a base game starter loft. And then I immediately go and I do a base game build that doesn't have a budget. And then I did go back to the loft and I did remodel that the way I semi wanted to remodel it. It wasn't exactly what I, in general, would have remodeled it had I, in real life, lived there. Because there would definitely be a lot of more purples and blues and blacks than it would have been. What did I do? Greens and browns and tans and stuff like that. So there was that. And then yeah, so that there's the teal in the kitchen that was very delayed. I was distracted by talking about other things. And so yeah, I blanked out again. What were we talking about? Oh my god, I need to stop. I'm sorry. Let's just move on. If anybody remember, like if, obviously you guys are gonna be watching this, so you'll definitely remember. Um, yeah, we'll just continue. Thanks. Okay, I just made an idiot of myself like usual. Oh, I'm really happy that there's cabinets that look like that because they genuinely look like the hutches that like my aunt has and some of the hutches that I remember seeing when I was a kid in like older homes. And I do like those hutches more than I like the clutter hutches that you see that I was looking at before until I picked those. Because I like the fact that they're floor to ceiling. I like the fact that they're that large. And I don't know. I like china cabinets. We've always had stuff like that in our house, and my family members have always had stuff like that in their houses. I know my grandmother had them. I know my other grandmother had them, and it was a nice little thing just to store your little knickknacks. You don't have to dust all the time because I hate dusting. Cleaning is not it's not something I like to do. I don't think anybody does unless you're my mom. Um, Also, I was using the family stuff. So hopefully you guys who are watching this and like this home, you guys have some of the packs that I'm using. I didn't limit myself with packs. I do have two builds that, again, are base game for those who don't have any of the packs. So if you want those, I do like the second one because I like the garden. And I'm really, really excited for this. Probably not this next build, but the next build that I have planned. I have sketched and planned, and I'm hoping it'll work. Um, it's it's definitely going to be on the 64 by 64 lot in Windenburg. So for anybody who's watching and would like the build, you're definitely going to at least need the get together pack. No, you're probably gonna need all the packs because I'll probably not limit myself. Because the idea that I have in mind, it's gonna be mountainous. It's still gonna be a family home, but it's gonna definitely be like mountainous, like kind of more out in the wilderness. I was originally gonna do the what's that pack? The outdoor retreat. I was gonna put the home there, but I needed the space for the idea that I had. So it ended up getting moved to that lot. And I think I put it on the island and not necessarily the 64 by 64 lot that's in the neighborhood area of Windenburg. So then it just kind of makes it look more secluded if I did it on the island, so that made it work. Anyway, back to the build. Yeah, you see here I did switch the bunk bed. And again, this is my first attempt at it, so if anybody knows how to get it to work where it's directly underneath, because I have seen people do it on the gallery. I've never downloaded those homes to actually check. I don't know if they just do it because they're just building to make something look nice and they're not necessarily building it to make it like playable. But if there is a way to do that, if somebody would let me know, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, I'll try and see if I can just play around some more with it until I can get what I want. Because I do build off camera to kind of just test things out and see what would work, and then be like, oh, maybe I'll do this in a future build. I mean, like that's how I've been doing it ever since I got The Sims 4, really. Just test something new. If I see somebody doing something, I try to recreate it just to kind of see how they did it. So, I mean, like, again, that was the reason why I wanted to try the bunk beds, because I was like, oh, I see a lot of these in the gallery, and I want to try it too. Oh, the wallpaper. I love this wallpaper. I love it. And I thought it was very whimsical for, like, a kid's room. Especially considering I was doing, like, the dark browns. I figured, okay, it's very woodsy, kind of like Red Riding Hood type of thing, or like the Grimm fairy tales. It just had that feel to it, and I really kind of liked that. It's probably nightmare fuel for all these kids, but it's okay because it looks awesome. I kind of wish that there was more recolors though, because again, this is more like a whimsical, like morning fog look to me. It would be cool if it had like more colors, like more, like maybe, I don't know, like fall. You see more color to it, like the leaves or something like that. I mean, I'll take what I can get because I really do like this wallpaper. It's really pretty. And yeah, you can see here that I'm really low on money now. I'm at the 2,000 mark, and I wanted that one shower, and then I realized, oh nope, I'm still not done this build, so I had to delete that. And I really shouldn't complain, because I know there's CC and I can always download that, but I mean, for anybody who's seen my videos so far knows that I had a bad experience with CC and I try not to use it anymore. But I kind of wish that there was more tiling options, and what I don't understand is there's this one, what is it, wallpaper tiling that I like, but I cannot for the life of me find the floor tiling that matches it. I don't know if that's a thing or if I'm just stupid and I continuously overlook it, but I thought that there would at least be something to match things. I mean, I understand some of the tiling can be for backsplashes for kitchens, so there might not be tiling to match it. That I can understand. But the very first, what is it, two wallpapers, I swear that there was tiling for it. And I have not seen it. So I don't know. Oh well. So I always use other things, but I really do like those first wallpapers. Oh, this also gets changed because when I was playtesting that family bathroom, I realized I had put the sink and the toilet on the wrong side. So they couldn't actually use the tub, so I had to flip that onto the other side. So again, you guys will see those changes. I'll try to only do those changes if it becomes a hazard or not hazard. Like if it becomes an issue for your sim not to be able to use it, because I want you guys to be able to download these things and everything be fine, so your sims can just go on their merry way and live their lives. So that was why I changed all of that around, and then I added the little potty training toilet seat that I forgot to add for the 2 toddlers that I have in there. And not only that, if I have toddler beds, you guys are definitely gonna need the these two. Sorry, since it's on the screen, these two. The first two, oh my god, it's something's in my throat. Oh my god, I'm sorry guys. Oh my god, I'm sorry, Marlon, I'm sorry. Sorry guys. Oh my gosh. That one kinda hurt. Where was I? Oh, the tiling. Now it's long gone, but those first two tilings, now that it was there for you guys to see, that's what I'm talking about. Is there floor tiling to match that? And if so, please let me know. I know that there was one that I was toying with, but I didn't particularly want that one. I wanted the nice aqua tiling, because sometimes I like using that one. Yes, you see me doing things here by deleting things. I'm kind of sad that I deleted that one bookcase, but again, I promised that I would try not to go back and change things off camera unless it was physically necessary, like gameplay necessary. So I just stuck with that bookcase, but I'm really sad that I deleted that and added a different one because I felt like the other one just looked better. Like it made the bookshelf, I mean, it made the bunk beds look more sturdy, or at least like it was being supported. And not only that, it was the same height as the raised bed, so that made that easier. Yeah, you see, you're gonna see right here. I change it. I'm very sad that I did that because I changed it to this. I don't know why I did that. I guess because it wasn't as bulky, and I think it was cheaper. And again, I was trying to come up with money because around here I was still trying to get the inside to look nice, and then I realized I hadn't even done yeah, I'm even changing out the toilets, so they are uncomfortable toilets. Sorry guys. You can change them back if you want, because again, you do actually have more money to play around with than it seems like here, because dingus me kept going into live mode and then go back to build mode and deleting things, and then I'm not getting my money back. And I didn't feel like doing the math for all of that because I know I had deleted a lot of stuff. So, I mean, at that point, I knew I was kind of done, and I just kind of deleted a few things because I hadn't even done the curb appeal for the outside. It was so bare. So I knew I needed to do something, so that's why I was kind of deleting things. And again, me being the curb appeal loving person for The Sims, I'm not very happy with the outside, so we're just gonna the home itself I love. The outside of the home I love, but not necessarily the curb appeal, so we're just gonna kind of overlook that. Okay, guys? Okay. I promise the next one's gonna look better. But I had a budget, so you can't really blame me. And I was trying to make the house look pretty. So, because when I'm doing starter homes, I always make the outside look pretty, and then when it comes time to doing the inside, I'm like, oh well, this is gonna be my Sims life for a while. They're just gonna have a bed and a sink and a fridge, and that's it. Until I can get them to make more money. So yeah. I think the video is gonna be over soon. I do the flowers here, and then I kind of go over a few things just to make sure everything looks okay, and then I do change the foyer, or I add to the foyer as the last thing that I do. yeah, like, I mean, like I said, I was just kind of going through things just to kind of make sure everything looked okay. Because I was trying to adhere to my promise of not changing things after, like off camera, like after the fact. So that's why I do kind of go through things again, and I do change last minute details. Yeah, I mean, like this is pretty much all that the rest of this is. It's just last minute detailing, just making sure everything is painted to make sure the colors match. And this is where I'm talking about with the sofa. I'm looking at it and I'm like, they're off. They're not the right colors. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Is it my eyes? Is it my computer screen? Because this laptop that I'm using has a weird coloring, and I have done everything I could to try and get it to work, but it has like a yellow tint to it. Don't know why. My old laptop that I have, the coloring on that one is white, whereas the coloring on this laptop is yellow. So nothing looks right. I've gotten used to it, but nothing looks right. So yeah, I mean, like I even pulled it outside, like I said, to see, and it looked like it was fine. Again, it could just be my computer screen. And when I was doing the screenshots, it didn't look right. And here are the screenshots. So you'll see it. Like yeah, like right here, there's dark brown, and then that's black. It's the right cushion coloring, I think, but the wood frame itself is not right. Anyway, I'm just gonna wrap this up now. I really hope you guys enjoy this build. Again, if it is play tested, but if for some odd reason nothing or something isn't working, please let me know, and then I'll see what I can do to fix it and then re-upload it for you guys. Anyway, I really hope you guys are enjoying my builds and my videos so far. The Let's Play for Stardew Valley will be up Thursday. So anyway, I hope to see you guys soon. Bye-bye.